The Carroll County Chamber of Commerce held its annual Outstanding Teacher Awards program on March 20th, 2013 at Winters Mill High School. The evening began with remarks from Patricia Lavroni, who acted as the Master of Ceremonies. After welcoming comments, the Chamber of Commerce awarded Wilhelm Scholarships to 3 teachers to assist in their continuing education. A keynote address from June Streckfus, the Executive Director of the Maryland Business Roundtable for Education, stressed the importance of the partnership between teaching and the business community.
Today, perhaps more than ever before, business and education are united in the enterprise of building knowledge through our nation's schools.
Chamber President Mike McMullen presented the Chamber's Lifetime Achievement Award to Catherine Hood, former principal of Oklahoma Road Middle School, who retired in 2012 after 36 years of service to the Carroll County Public School System. The Outstanding Teacher Awards recognize the men and women of Carroll County Public Schools who represent excellence in the teaching profession. The Chamber recognized 278 teachers this year. Each teacher was congratulated and received certificates and awards as part of the ceremony. From the 278 nominations, 8 teachers were chosen to receive Outstanding Teacher Awards. The Carroll County Teacher of the Year will be chosen from those 8 individuals receiving the Chamber's award. That candidate will be Carroll County's representative for the Maryland Teacher of the Year program. The 2013 Carroll County Teacher of the Year will be named on April 25th. Century High School showed why they are a 2013 Maryland Blue Ribbon School when Dr. Lillian Lowry, Maryland State Superintendent of Schools, visited the school to recognize them for this distinguished award. Her visit coincided with the school's celebration of Spirit Week, and she had a front row seat as the Century Student Government Association led activities at a very energetic pep rally. Century has had 28 state champions in the 12 years the school has been open, so they took this opportunity to highlight their athletes with a parade around the gym. Then, the cheerleading squad gave the crowd a demonstration of their skills. Other demonstrations included a preview of the drama club's upcoming production, Bye Bye Birdie, and a choreographed performance by the dance club. Dr. Lowry shared her congratulations and praise for the students and staff as she recognized Century for being a recipient of this year's award. The Blue Ribbon Schools program is a state and national program that recognizes and honors schools that exhibit high performance and/or significant improvement in reading and mathematics achievement.
I am here to congratulate you and your faculty and staff, your community leaders, for an amazing, amazing award. This is really a great award. I want you to understand how special it is. You are only one of 6 Maryland schools. There are over 1,400 schools in the state of Maryland. You're only one of 6. You're only one of 2 high schools that is being awarded the 2013 Maryland Blue Ribbon School of Excellence.
Century was presented with a customized sign to commemorate this achievement. After the brief presentation by Dr. Lowry, the pep rally was resumed and additional awards and recognitions were presented to the students and staff. Principal Cockley took a moment to recognize the special guests and parents who attended. The packed gymnasium was then entertained by the Century drumline. The pep rally ended with the presentation of the Spirit Stick to the liveliest group, the seniors.
All the assistant superintendents, myself, and also many of the directors were out in schools this first day. It's important for us to be visible out in the schools and to make sure that the schools, if there are any difficulties at the school, we're there to resolve any problems that would come up. But the other reason is a personal reason. And this is what we're all about. We're all about school, and there's no better place to be on the first day of school than out of the office and in schools. There's nothing like the look on a kindergartner when they're entering their school for the first time. There's nothing like seeing students enter their school that first day of school all excited, because it's probably the most excited they're going to be for the rest of the year. So it's a personal reason to be out there, because that's why we're here. That's why our organization exists. And it's fun to be a part of it.
Good summer? Yeah. Awesome.
Well, the reopening of Mount Airy Middle School is interesting because not only is it exciting the first day, but to add a new school into the mix makes it doubly exciting at that school. And over the summer, that community watched the old school demolished. And then the only school left standing there is the new school. Students walked into a new building knowing where to go, what classes to go to, and there wasn't any confusion. So my compliments to that staff. Well, as we move into the 2013-2014 school year, my hope is that everyone will have a productive and successful year, not only to the students, but to the staff and everybody across our system. We've planned it, and now we have to execute it, so good luck on a great school year.
Project ACES, which stands for Active Children Excel in School, is sponsored by the Baltimore Ravens. They fund our program completely. And they really like coming here and supporting this program because they truly believe in 60 minutes of activity a day too, and it ties in with their Play 60. So we've been very fortunate over the years that every year that we bring a player or two, or this year 3, to come and share their ideas with the students.
Eating healthy, eating your vegetables, that's the biggest piece. Eat all your vegetables, eat right, and drink a lot of chocolate milk. That's probably my secret, drink a lot of chocolate milk. But definitely eating healthy is a big part of being healthy and just living and being healthy.
The students had some prepared questions that they asked the Ravens, and the way the players, Michael, Ed, and Jamil answered the questions, they focused on eating healthy and getting 60 minutes of exercise, listening to your teachers, listening to your parents, being a good person. They never mentioned, and one day you could be a professional football player. They just focused on what the students can do now with being healthy and being a good person and a good student.
The activities were planned by the Ravens themselves. I think it's activities to show their agility. It's things that they do every day at practice. And it's activities that our kids can do as well, and things that they can take home and do at home as well.
All right, so first, you have to do 10 jumping jacks, okay? 10 jumping jacks. Once you finish your jumping jacks, you run through the ladder. And then once you get through the ladder, you have to do 10 jump ropes. And then you run back to the start of the line. When you get back to the line, that's when the next person can start their jumping jacks. Okay?
It means the world to the kids and us as teachers and staff. We've been working really hard in years past with Project ACES and getting the kids to get out and get their 60 minutes of activity. And this is just icing on the cake. It's a special treat for us and the kids, and it means the world to us.
We're running New Windsor Middle School, run a country mile to benefit the Special Olympics soccer team because they've qualified for nationals. They need to generate a lot of funds, and our goal is to raise $2,500
We always did a fundraiser for Special Olympics, so we decided to make it a little bit bigger this year. Instead of a small one, we decided to make it an entire school group effort. And what better time than to do it for this school mile run. Instead of focusing on the drudgery of the mile run, we focused it on a fundraising activity where the students could help out other kids and athletes in their community.
Today's event, which we call Run a Country Mile, covers 3 areas for the school, one of which is supporting our physical education program, and another area that we're concentrating on this year as a school is character education development, and thus the shirts that say ROAR, that's what it's all about this year, and earning your stripes at New Windsor Middle School. Every student was given this shirt as a token of appreciation for their effort in unifying with character ed development. The third area, and probably the most important for our run today, is the fundraising that we did for the Carroll County Special Olympics soccer team who is qualified for nationals. We set a goal as a school to raise $2,500 as of right now, and we've only had the 8th grade run. We know we still have money to be collected. The students and the community as a whole have put together over $2,000, so we're well on our way to making our goal and helping send the team from Carroll County to nationals in New York.
The Westminster Roadrunners Club graciously donated the use of their equipment to help authenticate this run and encourage and motivate the children run better and get their times a little faster and have it all feel like an authentic race. The student support for this event quickly turned from, oh no, we have to run the mile, to, all right, we've got this. So we divided this class into 2 heats just for management purposes. So the kids who were not running were in the infield cheering on the other students as they crossed the finish line. And some of our other kids who were a little bit slower were brought in and cheered on by their friends to encourage them, just so they wouldn't feel lonely, finishing towards the end as opposed to finishing in the middle of the pack. We have wonderful students here at New Windsor Middle School. A great community. We are small, but we are mighty.
My name is Mr. Haycock. I'm the principal of the outdoor school, and my job today is to help get you guys ready for it.
The first time I meet them, when I go to their school, I always wear a suit and tie. And I will often start off with, this is outdoor, and I'll wait for them to finish it, and then I'll ask them again, and eventually they come around to it's outdoor school. I want them to get that this is a school. It's a great place and it's going to be great fun, but it is a school, not a camp, not 4-H or Girl Scouts, or those are great things, but that's not what we are. So that very first meeting with the kids, I think, is important in establishing expectations, and sort of setting them up for success. Prepping the kids to come out here is a very detailed process. We need to know as much about the kids as we can. It's almost like we're opening the school brand new every Monday. I get lots of kids that are anxious, so talking to them ahead of time, I think, helps start to take some of that anxiety out. Not all of it, and I tell kids right up front, I'll ask them how many of you are a little nervous. They almost all raise their hand, and I say, that's okay, I am too. So the meeting with the kids is important in prepping them for the experience and dealing with anxiety. So it's sort of a balance between getting them over their anxiety, making sure they know that this is going to be a safe place and it's going to be fun, but also them recognizing that we have very high expectations.
This really shows you that all things are possible. I never thought that a blind person would ever be able to drive, especially in my lifetime. And then when they demonstrated that technology, when Mark drove that car on Daytona Speedway, I remember watching that video and going, this could happen.
My team, the team. There he is, Mark Riccobotto. the first ever blind driver at Daytona. Dr. Mark Maurer said we would do it a decade ago, and we'll prove it today.
October is Meet the Blind Month, which is a national campaign to really educate people about blindness, both the capabilities of blind people and the real problems that blind people face. And in large part, this campaign is put on by the National Federation of the Blind. Mark Riccobono is a leader in that organization and a really confident and competent blind guy. And I really think he is an inspiration, not because he can walk, talk, and chew gum and he's blind, but because he really empowers blind people, especially blind kids, to follow their dreams and follow their passion. I think everybody, blind or sighted, especially kids, can get a lot out of his message.
So follow your passion, get the best training you can, build a network, and almost anything you want to do is possible.
As the administrator for the program, one of my big challenges is a safe, orderly environment. And our challenges are different than most other schools. Again, it's residential, we're outside. I talk to parents a lot because that's one of the bugaboos that they get. You know, it's like, is my kid going to be safe? And I have to be able to reassure them that we're going to do everything we can to make sure that kids are safe. We have an open house for the parents, and that's a chance for them to come out and see the place, you know. And sometimes it's just they want to see it. A few years ago, I was showing a group of parents around, and one mother said, "Can I take pictures?" And I said, "Sure." And I started to talk about some things. She said, "No, I really just need to see the bunks." I said, "Okay." So she took a picture of the bunks, and then I was discussing some other things. She said, "Well, actually, I need to see the bathroom." So that's fine. And she went in and she took a picture of the bathrooms. And then she turned to me and said, "Thank you, Mr. Haycock," and she left. And I know that she was sent on a mission by her daughter to make sure that there was no black goo on the walls. And I get that. That's important for the kids. And she was here to make sure, one, to assure herself, but also for her kid. I have other conversations with parents, very in-depth. I'll be there to answer questions about security and safety and curriculum and all of that. We also make a point to set up individual tours. If we have a child with mobility issues, for example, kids in wheelchairs, I mean, they still get to come to outdoor school. I like to meet with those parents on the grounds because they know their kids and they can look at the buildings and they can look at where we are and we can talk about how we're going to be able to transport their child and what's going to work and what's not going to work. So it's all part of that sort of big planning. Not infrequently, the comment I'll get partway through is, "When are we having the week for the parents?" And I don't blame them, because this is a cool place to be.
Today we are here to recognize 3 student artists whose work has been selected to represent all student artists at Carroll County Public Schools through the Maryland Masters Program.
Maryland State Comptroller Peter Francho created a program called Maryland Masters Awards, celebrating Maryland's achievements and innovations through the arts, which recognizes students who have displayed extraordinary artistic skills and a vision for Maryland's future. Through a partnership with Maryland school superintendents, the goal of the program is for students in grades K through 12 to display a piece of their original artwork in the Comptroller's office in Annapolis. On November 19th, Comptroller Francho visited Carroll County Public Schools to be presented with the 3 pieces of artwork by Carroll County students. In a ceremony held at the Board of Education offices, students Anna Ruby, Courtney McCracken, and Chris Scott were honored and their artwork was unveiled.
One of the true tenets of American exceptionalism is creativity. And certainly that is on display here, and not only here, but in every one of our classrooms. And that's due to the dedication and support of our community, our teachers, our administrators, and most importantly, our students.
Recently, 5th graders at Hampstead Elementary School got a visit from an old friend, as well as some new ones. Tootsie Pop, the great horned owl, made a return visit to the school and brought along some other animal friends. Tootsie Pop had been to the school previously when 5th grade STEM teacher Regina Michael and her sons rescued him after he had been hit by a vehicle. He was sent to the veterinary hospital where a pin was placed in his wing to stabilize it. The students at Hampstead took up a collection and raised $150 for his care. Veterinary techs Darcy Bowen from Feathers, Scales, and Tails Veterinary Hospital in Westminster and Bonnie Kellerhouse from the Tri-State Zoo in Cumberland brought the owl and several other animals for the 5th graders to examine.
So I guess, why don't you guys run the show? What do you want to see first? A bird? A mammal? Right.
They got to see several species of snakes, including a python, Sylvia the possum, Niles the porcupine, a red-tailed hawk, and a desert turtle named Speed Bump. The 5th graders learned about the different adaptations that each animal has to help it survive in its environment, which relates to the 5th grade science curriculum.
Remember, your job is to learn what are some examples of adaptation and why do some plants and animals adapt.
You know, I think what we've known that is important in science instruction is that we need to incorporate a lot of the different content areas. There should be some reading and some writing involved in the sciences. There needs to be some math involved in the sciences. But what we haven't had necessarily is a product or a resource that really does a great job of combining all those things into a nice package. And I think Discovery Education has really done a nice job of understanding what teachers need, and they understand how students work best. And Discovery has allowed us to be able to put on a new kind of guided learning approach to science that's really going to, I think, going to make a big difference to the kids and their learning. They're going to be able to learn things with more engagement. They're going to be able to learn things more efficiently. And it's going to make our jobs easier as well as teachers.
You guys find your video? Remember, you're looking for how plants adapt. It's that one right there.
Okay, so all we do is just circle the fib.
There are 3 truths and there's 1 fib on there. You got to watch the video, and after you watch the video, you're going to be able to figure out which one is the lie on that page. Now remember, on the next station, you're going to have to write your own 3 truths.
I think the reason this technology is great is because it's at the end of the day, we're not focused on the technology. The technology is helping us leverage a lot of different specific learning styles of different kids.
Can I use the pen right now? One sec. Introduction. Okay. Living things adapts in order to survive in their surroundings. The turtle
total cabinet apart.
With this, we have video for kids that learn visually and, like that visual audio combination. We have digital labs, which allow us to do some pretty neat things that we wouldn't be able to recreate here in the classroom. So they can see that and interact with it. We've got hands-on labs, which isn't part of the normal technology that you'd see, but just by getting kids their hands on some of the content really helps those kids that need that kinesthetic or that body movement or need to be able to make the thing, to make the connection to the content. So I think this resource is really going to make it easy for us to really help every single type of learner we'd have in our classroom. And that's really going to work for us. It's going to reach them, and it's going to also reach them in a more efficient, a shorter time.